welcome back to Max and Nicky VGM Reactions.
Today we're going to be reacting to a song from Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This stage is Blanka's stage in Brazil, and the track is written
Brazil.
There you go, and it's written by Yoko Shimomura, who is one of the most famous video game composers from Japan of all time. She's, of course, widely known for her soundtrack to Kingdom Hearts. But before we get into all of that...
Well, and then also, she is known for this, too, obviously.
Of course.
This is one of the most famous fighting games of all time.
She's known for a lot, but I'm saying she's really known for Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, before we get into all that, if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and if you're feeling extra generous and want to help us grow the channel, please consider donating to us on Venmo or PayPal. Links are in the description below.
And if you want to check out some of our comedy and music stuff, which we do, please follow us at Max and Nicky on Instagram and TikTok.
With all that said, let's get into it with Blanka's stage in Brazil
From Street Fighter 2 / Street Fighter 2 Turbo
by Yoko Shimomura.
Here we go. Yeah, very interesting way to... It kind of has this final section that kind of goes up and modulates to this starts modulating to these interesting areas.
Well,
and then it somehow, it really, almost as if very seamlessly goes back into the beginning of the loop. You know what I mean?
It's really cool. You know, what Yoko Shimomura did with this soundtrack is really cool in that every level that she visits, or with the music really reflects the style, or
every country she visits.
Yeah, every country that you go into in the game is reflected in the music, the stylistically in the music. Like,
right.
I mean, this sounds Brazilian, kind of, or it's got a Brazilian influence.
Maybe somehow like some faux Brazilian thing, or maybe I don't. It sounds South American.
Yeah,
and it also sounds a little Spanish too. Actually, a little bit.
Well, it's also interesting that she uses.
It doesn't sound bossa nova though.
She uses or samba. It kind of sounds samba-y-ish in a way.
Well, it's boom, 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 boom.
It's got this polyrhythmic thing going on at the beginning. You know, at first it was like, I was thinking, what's the time signature for this? But then it gets into this.
Then it gets into a straight 4/4. But I mean, maybe it is a Brazilian kind of music that I'm not really
familiar
versed in. I'm well versed in bossa nova and samba stuff, but but it has this kind of Latin kind of groove to it,
It's interesting, you hear these like bongo drums going on in the right ear here,
right on the offbeats, yeah,
and it's also You know, she uses trumpet, like these sampled trumpets throughout the game, and it's really kind of it's kind of it's
Characteristic?
it's characteristic of this soundtrack. Really, is these sampled trumpets. You hear them in a lot of the levels, and it's really cool. Actually, it's like it's almost like the soundtrack has its own style because of these trumpets. You hear it in a lot of the levels.
Well,
even though she's visiting different countries and making the songs kind of reflect where they're from, she uses these sampled trumpets in a lot of them.
well, to a degree, I mean, Ryu, or as I like to call him, Ryu.
That's wrong, though.
I know, but I grew up calling him that. But
it is Ryushi Sakamoto, not Ryushi Sakamoto.
I know, but we have a cousin named Ryan, and so I guess I just thought of Ryu. I don't know, for some reason. Anyway, I mean, you used to call it Ryu also.
And I learned the error of my ways. And now I call it
anyway,
Ryu.
it is Ryu, but he's from Japan, but he has a little bit more of a kind of rocker kind of sound to it.
Sure, but E Honda is also from Japan. He's got a little bit more of a Japanese
flavor
to it, I guess. Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to, on this song, I do want to note that there are these certain voices that I guess it's some sort of sample or synth kind of sound or something like that, but they sound, unless you're clear as to where the attack of those notes are played, the sustain of those notes sounds like they're voices actually, that are kind of in the spectrum of the panning. It kind of feels like it's here and like here or something. Anyway, it's just very much in the background, and I don't think you would notice it unless you were listening with headphones, and it's pretty neat to hear.
I like also. So there's a point when these sampled strings come in, and it sounds like the loop has repeated, but with this new instrument that's come into the play.
Right.
But it actually isn't a loop. It just sounds like it, but that's when it starts doing this modulation thing. And
it's very weird to hear that, actually. I mean,
it's weird, but it's really cool. I think this is a great
no,
track.
It's very neato.
Some of the harmonies, I don't know if you were noticing, are really kind of closer harmonies, I guess, or sort of not the typical chord changes you might expect. And I think that's where maybe there's a little bit of jazz influence in this soundtrack.
Oh, most certainly. Yeah. I mean, there's some other tracks. I mean, listen to Sagat is how he, his level has a kind of Quiet Storm meets modal jazz type of thing going on. But it does
sort of reflect the idea that you're in Thailand too, right?
Yeah, sure.
Somehow.
In this sort of, maybe in a sort of misty, ethereal, exotic place or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Not misty as in like seeing actual mist, but just sort of
but like the
quality.
But the jazz standards, misty.
That's right.
Look at me.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Your reaction, you're like, okay. Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So, really neat tune from Yoko Shimomura, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's about it for this one.
If you like what you heard and saw today, and if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and if you're feeling extra generous and want to help us grow the channel, please consider donating to us on Venmo or PayPal, and the links will be in the description below.
And if you want to check out our comedy and music stuff, please follow us at Max and Nicky on Instagram and TikTok.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Max and Nicky VGM Reactions.
We'll see you next time.